Ask a knowledgeable petrol head what the cheapest new sports car you can buy is at the moment, and you'll get a knowing wink and probably one of two answers. The first is likely to be Toyota's excellent GT86, and the second will be Mazda's MX-5. Sure, there'll be those that sneer at its diminutive size and relatively modest horsepower figures, but those people are wrong and foolish. The MX-5 is one of the most fun driving experiences you can have for around the 20 grand mark, and now for 2018, Mazda have tried to make it even better. This is the refreshed, revised and updated MX-5, but don't worry, the changes are subtle. Very subtle. The MX-5's recipe of simple driving pleasure, undiluted by needless technology, has been a hit with customers for almost 30 years, so Mazda has wisely kept its tweaks to a minimum. So what's new? Well, visually, not much, apart from, on this top-spec GT Sport Nav Plus model, a small thin spoiler on the boot lid. What is new though is the amount of power from this, the 2-litre version. It's up 20 horsepower to 184, and while that might not sound like much, it all adds a bit of extra zing to proceedings, and it revs higher too. For the first time, the steering wheel moves in and out telescopically, which makes it easier than ever to find your perfect driving position. Tall drivers beware though, anyone who, like me, is 6 foot or above may well find it a bit of a tight squeeze in here. If you can get in though, it's impossible to find more fun for the money, particularly if you want the top down and the wind in your hair. On the right roads, it's tremendously engaging, thanks to rear-wheel drive, like a racing car, and composed, nimble handling. More expensive cars like this one and the Sport Nav Plus model have upgraded suspension from specialists' build style, and it's really nicely judged. The danger with upgraded sporty suspension is that it can be too hard for normal, actual roads, and it shakes your teeth out. This though is really nicely supple, soaking up all the lumps and bumps through the corners while keeping things nice and zippy. Any downsides? Well, the steering could be a fraction sharper, and it's a bit fidgety on motorways and dual carriageways, like a squirming child that's anxious to get out and play. Also, the road noise on this soft-top version is pretty horrendous at speeds above 60 miles an hour. If you're doing regular motorway slogs, make sure you can put up with it. Or check out the RF version, which has an electric hard roof. The interior quality is fine but not spectacular, and the infotainment system feels a bit outdated against recent cars of this price point. There's no Apple CarPlay or Android Auto for connecting your smartphone, although you can get it as a dealer fit option, but it's expensive. Practicality is a bit of an afterthought. The cup holders are rubbish and in a stupid position, the glove box is between the seats and tiny, and the boot is big enough for a couple of small bags, and that's about it. But do you really care about that? The MX-5 is about accessible driving pleasure, being able to put a smile on your face without smashing the speed limit to do so. It's very, very good at that, and the small tweaks that Mazda have made make it better than ever. Now, if you want more information on the new Mazda MX-5, then check out our in-depth written review on autotrader.co.uk. If you've liked this video, give us a thumbs up, and why not subscribe to the Autotrader YouTube channel? We've got loads of great content to help you find your next car.